rolling and action.
Good morning, how are you?
I am good, and you?
Okay, I'm fine. Can you state your name and title for the camera?
Devon Barrett, General Manager, Victoria Wealth Management.
Alright. We want to talk about how do you invest less with your own money and more with other people's money. We're in an industry that we like the word leverage. But can the average man on the street use that concept, or is it only something for institutions?
Well, I think the average man can use that. It is available to everybody right now. It's just that a lot of people are not aware of this. But simple example of leverage is that if you wanted to buy some stocks on the Jamaica Stock Exchange right now, you could literally come to us and borrow money to buy those stocks. Simply put, what would happen is that you would put up 50 cents in every dollar that is required. So if you were to buy $100,000 worth of stocks, you put up $50,000 and we will lend you the additional $50,000. So right there, you as a small man would now be able to enhance your returns by borrowing somebody else's money to grow your business.
And is it the same kind of paperwork to say borrow to buy a house?
It is not that onerous. The paperwork here is much, much less than buying a house or a car or anything else. So your strategy as a small man is to just come in and just listen to us. We will tell you how simple it is. In 2 or 3 documents, you could actually have your margin loan. So it's pretty easy.
And is it something very common? Is the average person coming and say, oh, I'd like to leverage my portfolio?
No, it's not very common because a lot of people, as I said earlier, just don't know about it, right? But what has happened in recent times is that because interest rates have fallen so much, people are now looking at their options and asking about other things. So they're trying to find out from the marketplace, now what else can I do to enhance my return? And this is exactly what margin borrowing does. It helps you to enhance your return. A caveat here, it can also cause you to lose money because now you have amplified your investment. So if you're investing $100,000 before of your own money, and now you're going to borrow an additional $100,000, now you have $200,000 at risk. So the losses can grow as well as the gains could grow.
Alright. And is there any restrictions on the types of assets? So I can only use margin to buy stocks on the Jamaica Stock Exchange?
No, you could buy stocks, you could buy bonds. Any financial instrument that I issued here can be bought on margin. It's just that the amount that we lend against these assets may differ. So a simple example again, if you were to buy stocks in Jamaica on the Jamaica Stock Exchange, you might be able to get up to 50% of the amount you invested. If you're buying bonds, it could be as high as 90% because some bonds are less riskier than some stocks.
Okay. And you said to come in and talk to you. How does that conversation work? I mean, again, sometimes people just don't know what to say.
Yes. So the simple, how it works is that the investor comes in and says, listen, I want to make an investment. And I want to make an investment. I want some returns. And he's asking us for our advice on how he can get some enhanced returns. So if you were to invest on a repo right now, he'll be earning probably about 5.5% for 30 days, right? If you were to buy stocks on the market, he could look at on say a 10-15% return year over year, potential return, potentially not, because these returns are not guaranteed, right? But we're saying to him, listen, if you want to increase your returns, then perhaps you might have to look at the different instruments that you have in your portfolio, because you're going to have some low yielding ones and some high yielding ones. Why are these different? Because they carry different levels of risk. So when he comes in to talk to us, we're talking a total discussion here. We're not talking about one asset class versus next. We're talking about all asset classes together and advising him as to how you get better returns by investing in these different asset classes.
Now, if the potential return in the stock exchange is higher than the guaranteed return on a repo, why aren't more Jamaicans jumping into the market?
Alright, so there are two reasons for that. One, a lot of people have been burned or know somebody who has been burned in the past. By burnt, I mean that somebody who have lost money from investing in stocks in the past. Now, is that a bad thing? Perhaps people say, because it is so risky, I do not want to be a part of it. But again, it comes down to an understanding. A lot of people in the past tended to want to do this on their own. That is to say, take their own advice or take some advice from somebody who has no knowledge of the business. Our point to them is, listen, if you wanted medical help, you would go to a doctor. If you wanted legal help, you would go to a lawyer. We think if you want help with your financial business, you should go to a financial advisor, and a good financial advisor too, right? So that you can get a better understanding of how to get better returns on your money. It doesn't cost you much to do it, right? And the returns that you're likely to get as a result of doing this will more than cover the cost of using a financial advisor.
So how do you find a good one?
Okay, so to me again, it's easy. You go, you ask your friends, who do they take advice from? That's one. Two, you go around and you talk to different advisors and ask them to tell you their credentials. Look on their wall to see, what their level of, what their qualifications are. One. Two, ensure that they're licensed to give that kind of advice. And three, you have that discussion about their credentials. What have they done in the past? How have they helped their clients to make good returns? And once you have that discussion with a few of them, I'm sure you'll be able to pick one or two who you think could help you to enhance your returns.
All right. Now, you touched briefly on persons who were burnt and such, and how do you handle the loss? Because I bought carb cement at $16, it went to $1, it picked up back to $2. How it'll never get back to 16 in time for me to make back my money. I feel bad.
So here's the issue now. You bought it at $16, it went down to $1. What happened between $16 and $1? Where were you? Maybe you were not paying attention. And this is where again a financial advisor comes in to help you along the way. So you're busy doing your day job, right? And your money is not working for you. You want your money to be working for you while you're doing your day job, which is where your investment advisor comes in. So what you need to do is to trust your business to an advisor who will tell you when he thinks something needs to change. So for instance, if you bought carb cement at $16, you should set yourself a target. If carb cement price falls 10%, 15%, whatever the level of risk that you can tolerate, of losses you can tolerate, you must decide that upfront. So you could say 15%. When 15% comes, you ought to get out of that investment. You need to exit that investment because now you're down 90%. So the question is, where were you when it was at 100%? Where were you when it was at 50%? Now you're down 90%. So the strategy is to ensure that you use a trusted investment advisor so that when you are at work, your money is actually working for you.
The question is, how do you know a good deal from a bad deal? How do I know if this is a good stock or a bad stock or a good bond or a bad bond? Just anything. How do I know?
Okay, so again, you need the help of an advisor, and I can't say that much more. It really is important to have an advisor. Why? Because you need to have that discussion with someone in the know about where is the most likely place to get good returns going forward. What happened in the past or what is likely to happen going forward. So a good example is you look for an industry that is in a growth stage. So if, for instance, in Jamaica, we're talking a lot about energy sector right now and the possibility of growth in the energy sector, then you could say, I think I should have some exposure to the energy sector. In the same breath, you might think that real estate is a sector that is going to be on the decline. And you say, listen, I want to rely less on what is going on in the real estate market. You might also say entertainment is a big thing for Jamaica, and we are more likely to make good money from entertainment going forward. I want to find an investment in the entertainment industry. So the strategy is look on industry first, find an industry that you think is going to be in a growth phase, and try to make an investment in that industry, whether it is in the equities in that investment in that industry, or it could be fixed income.
So you're saying I actually have to do some reading.
You have to do some reading, but again, I tell you can get almost free financial advice. So if you have a view and you want to share it with one of our advisors, for instance, it's easy. call them up and have a discussion with them. It costed nothing for the discussion.
Right.
You don't start paying anything. There is no retention, no retainer fee or anything like that. You can have a free consultation. You can have a free discussion, and once you have that discussion, to me, you will have a better place to start, and that will help you. You can read more, and that can enhance what you know.
Okay. Now here's a challenge. We have read in the paper we need to increase our tax compliance in the country. We need, everyone to play their role. However, there's also an idea that I should minimize my taxes, not avoid, but minimize.
Sure.
When you're looking for investors, especially me as a PAYE individual, I'm being taxed left, right. So it's not like I can withhold anything. How do I minimize, while not avoiding, but minimize my taxes in any way I can? What are my options in investing?
Right. So you might not know what is going on in the tax world, being a layman to this business, right? And you have your day job, so you want to continue to do as good a job as you can with your day job. Go in and sit down to an advisor and with an advisor again, because there are many options available to give you lower tax payments, right? Which means your returns will be enhanced. So you're paying less taxes, your returns will be enhanced. Where are those opportunities? If you look at the junior stock exchange right now, companies in the junior stock exchange pays no taxes for the first 5 years and pay only half the taxes for the second 5 years. That is an investment that will give you better returns because the industry has lower taxes. Another opportunity is for you to invest in an investment for 5 years, because the government says if you were to invest in a fixed income investment for 5 years, 5 continuous years, then they will charge you no tax for that 5-year period. So you want to look at these things, but again, you won't know, you may not know because you're not in this business. And so once you sit with your advisor, you want to ask them about all the tax-free options or lower tax options available to you, because you want to enhance your returns at the end of the day.
What about my pension? Is there any scope there?
So for the pension, I think what you should do as an investor is that once you start working, you should start setting aside monies for your pension. And this is how it will work.